Hey! A while ago, we had a video about Serverless framework. As a reminder, it's a set of open source tools to deploy serverless applications on multiple different clouds. We've used it to deploy a simple Telegram bot as a Lambda function. Serverless framework is great. It has many advanced features, a nice UI, and cloud-agnostic abstractions to configure your functions. But did you know that AWS provides a very similar tool that offers mostly the same features? It's called AWS SAM, and it will be the topic of this video. AWS SAM stands for Serverless Application Model. SAM consists of two things: a superset of CloudFormation templates with new, simpler syntax to define serverless components, and a CLI tool that simplifies building, deploying, and maintaining serverless applications. We are going to take Germanizer Telegram bot and deploy it with AWS SAM. We will also take a look at some of the new Lambda features that were not covered in the serverless framework video. As a reminder, this bot replies with a German translation of everything we sent to it. I've already installed some CLI beforehand. You can follow official instructions for your operating system. I'm going to start by running some init command to generate some bootstrap code. I will use existing quickstart template for the Hello World application. My runtime for this app is still Ruby. As for the package type, I am going to use image. Last time we deployed this app from a zip package, but these days it makes sense to stick an industry standard container image packaging. I can also enable AWS X-ray tracing in this guided init process. Project name is going to be Germanizer. Init command created for us a new directory with the sample application inside, as well as some tests so that we can verify our function locally. I only need two files from here: Docker file, which I will rename to be container file, and template YAML, the main file that SAM CLI is going to use. I can safely remove everything else, but keep in mind the folder structure that SAM provides is actually not bad when you have multiple functions that form a single serverless application. For my tiny Telegram bot, I can get away with a simpler code setup. Next, I need to change container file a bit. I will change the name of the file with functions code, and I will change the command to point to the correct Ruby method. Now let's navigate to template YAML and see what we need to change there. SAM template is basically a CloudFormation template with some shorter, serverless focused resources. You can use any CloudFormation code in this template, and the reverse applies. This template can do only what CloudFormation is capable of. I will start with renaming Hello World to Germanizer. Next, I'm going to remove events section. Previously, the only way to expose your functions over the external HTTP endpoint was to use API gateway. This is the way we configured our chatbot the last time. SAM has basically the same syntax to define on which events the function can be triggered, with API type leading to API gateway configuration. In 2022, AWS released Lambda Function URL support, meaning that any function can simply get an HTTP URL and you can trigger the function by sending a request to this URL. There is no more API gateway involved, and there is also no application load balancer. It's perfect for simple use cases like our primitive chatbot. Let me configure function URL in this template. Just 2 lines of code specifying that I don't need any authentication is enough to make my function available over the internet. Next, I'm going to specify an environment variable. I will take a Telegram bot token from AWS Secrets Manager. I cannot use SSM here because CloudFormation cannot resolve secure SSM params. I also need to change the Docker context and the path to the Docker file. With those changes, I am ready to build and deploy my function. I'm going to run SAM build command. SAM built a new container image, but what it also did, it generated a new SAM template and placed it inside the hidden AWS SAM directory. The deployable package for SAM consists of two things: container image or zip file and processed SAM template. And when we run SAM build, it did both things. Let's compare the generated template with the original one. It mostly just replaced CloudFormation function calls, but it also added a new image URI parameter. This parameter is used during the deployment to understand from where to get the image to deploy. We could set the image URI manually, but let's rely on automations that SAM brings. With the image and template built, I'm running SAM deploy -g. In guided deployment lets me set many different options, starting with CloudFormation stack name. I can save answers to all questions to a SAM config file so that next time I don't need to go through this process. Notice that I can provide multiple configuration environments to distinguish between prod and pre-prod, for example. It will take a second for SAM to create a special stack for SAM resources. Now I can delegate management of ECR repository to SAM. This option tells SAM to create a new ECR repository and push my functions image there. It's convenient to do it this way for demonstration purposes, but for production scenarios, you should create and manage ECR repository separately, for example with Terraform. After pushing the image, SAM will start deploying a new CloudFormation stack with our function and all related resources. Next, I need to use the function URL as a webhook endpoint for a Telegram bot. And now I can test the bot. Strange, I'm not getting any answers. Let's use SAM log command to see what's going on. It seems that I forgot to attach an Amazon Translate policy. Let me do this real quick. I can just specify any managed policy inside policies field in the template. And now I will build and then deploy again. Let's try talking to the bot one more time. And now it finally replies in German. Let's sum it up. AWS SAM is a feature complete replacement for Serverless framework as long as you only deploy AWS Lambda functions. Same as Serverless framework, it's just a nice abstraction and tooling on top of CloudFormation. The benefit of SAM is that it's a solution developed and provided by AWS directly. Also, some templates can be more powerful as they can be any CloudFormation template. Give it a try, get the source code for this video from the link in the description and do these tasks. Change the code to use pre-existing ECR repository, narrow down IAM permissions to use restricted access to Amazon Translate, and make the template configurable based on the environment where you deploy it. If you or a company needs serverless consulting or trainings, contact us via the email provided in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the like button. Thanks for watching!